we're going to be doing Jacob and Esau. So y'all remember the Bible talk where God told Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac? If you don't, go back and watch that video. That same little boy Isaac is now a grown man in this story, and we're going to talk about his two sons. So Isaac was married to a woman named Rebecca, and at this time Rebecca was pregnant. So Rebecca's stomach is moving. I mean, the baby kicking. I mean, it's just a lot going on. So she goes to God and she was like, God, I can't do this. What's going on? Like, this baby is acting up. So God tells Rebecca, he's like, woman, the reason why you feeling what you feeling is because you have two nations in your belly. And right now, they're going head to head. Rebecca, like, I'm sorry, did you say two nations? Two? Like, there's two babies inside of me? It's just like, not you and your sibling fighting in the womb. Like, how y'all fighting since y'all been in the womb? So boom, fast forward, Rebecca gives birth and she names them Jacob and Esau. Esau was the oldest, so the birthright went to Esau because he was the oldest. So basically, like, he got the blessing and the birthright from his father and yada, yada, yada. Esau was the type to go outside and hunt and do all that crazy stuff. And then Jacob, he was more chill. He was inside. He was just like, One day after Esau had a long day of hunting, he was starving. I mean, he was hungry. Y'all gonna see how hungry he was. So, Jacob was cooking up a nice little meal and Esau was like, I'm hungry. Like, make me a plate. So Jacob like, yeah, no problem. Like, you can have a plate if you sell me your birthright. So Esau is like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, you can have my birthright. I'm hungry. You sold your birthright for a plate of food? Like, no, like, let's just talk about this. You couldn't go hunt something yourself and go cook it for you sold your... Let's move forward. So fast forward, at this point, Isaac is getting very old and he's dying at this point. So he tells Esau to come in the room and he was like, look, I'm dying and I need to give you my blessing before I leave this earth. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to go out. I want you to go hunt and I want you to make me a very hearty meal and I want you to bring it back to me. Now, while he was having this conversation with Esau, Rebecca, his wife, was eavesdropping. I forgot to mention that Jacob was Rebecca's favorite, so keep that in mind. So Rebecca goes to Jacob and she's like, listen, I overheard your father talking to your brother and he's about to die and he wants to bless him before he leaves. So in order for you to get the blessing, I need you to go out, go hunt, go get something so we can fix him a hearty meal and then you're going to be the one that's going to be blessed. Jacob's like, how are we going to do that? Like, he can tell the difference between me and Esau. Baby, come back for part 2. Y'all ready for part 2? I don't know if you're ready for part 2, but let's get straight into it. Okay, so boom, if you have not seen part 1, go back and watch part 1 because you're going to be confused. So boom, we stopped at the part where Rebecca told Jacob, listen, I heard your father and your brother talking, so I need you to go and I need you to go get 2 goats and I need you to bring it back and I'll cook the meal for you and we're going to set this whole thing up. So boom, fast forward, Jacob does what Rebecca says and he was like, okay, like, mom, now how are we going to pull this off? Because he's going to tell the difference. Jacob was like, my brother is hairy and I'm not hairy. So the Bible says that Esau was very, very hairy. So the mom is like, don't worry, I got this. So she grabs Esau's clothes and puts it on top of Jacob. And then she grabs goat skin and wraps it around him so it can feel like he's hairy. Now, mind y'all, Isaac, he was dying. So his vision was a little blurry. So he couldn't really like see who was walking in the room. So all he can do was basically hear and touch. So Jacob walks in the room and he's like, Dad, I brought you your hearty meal. I went and I did what you told me. So Isaac is like, that was way too fast. Wait a minute, which son are you again? Jacob was like, it's me, it's your firstborn, it's Esau. And Isaac was like, you don't sound like my son Esau, but okay. So he gives Isaac the food, Isaac eats, and he ate real good. He was nice and full, and then he was like, okay, like, son, come here, like, let me bless you. So he starts blessing Jacob, thinking that it's Esau, and when he got close, he could smell Esau's clothes. So now he's really being fooled because he's like, I can smell my son Esau. And then when he went to touch him, obviously he touched the goat skin, so he really thought it was Esau at this point. Fast forward, at this point, Isaac is full, he ate the meal, and Jacob left being blessed. Esau comes in after with the meal, and he's like, Dad, like, I'm here for you to eat your meal. I did what you told me to do. And Isaac is like, what do you mean? Esau just left and I just ate. I'm full. Wait, what? So Esau like, what you mean? Like, no, I'm just walking through the door. I'm right here. So Isaac is like, I may have blessed your brother Jacob because I thought he was you. At this point, Esau is crying. He's mad. He's angry. He's like, Dad, please, like, there has to be another blessing that you can give me. And his dad was like, sorry, bud. Esau Esau is fed up with Jacob at this point. Like, we've been fighting since the womb. You made me sell you my birthright for food, and now you pretended to be me and you got my blessing? So he like, yeah, I'm gonna kill him. So Rebecca, once again, being nosy, she relayed the message back to Jacob, and she was like, listen, you gotta run, you gotta get out of here. Your brother's gonna kill you. Jacob had to run, he had to leave, he had to get out of there. Moral of the story, because we're running out of time, and you can go read the rest of the story for yourself. Listen to the right voice and don't be fooled by physical touch. When Jacob walked through the door, Isaac literally said, you don't sound like my son Esau. Then when he touched the goat skin, he got fooled because of what was tangible. A lot of people will ignore the voice of God and go with what they can physically touch. I hope you guys enjoyed this Bible talk. I love you guys. Bye. I'm not gonna lie, I was supposed to do this Bible talk a long time ago, but it just took me so long to digest. I want to make sure that I tell the story right. Just to warn y'all, this story is so juicy, I just know it's going to be 2 parts. It might even be 3 parts. The Bible talk that we're doing today is going to be on Isaiah and King Hezekiah. Okay, so boom, Isaiah in the Bible was a prophet, and he prophesied mostly during the time that Hezekiah was king. One day, Isaiah was praying in the temple, and he seen this vision of God. It says he seen God sitting on his throne, and then he started to see these seraphim angels with like 6 wings. So these angels begin to sing, holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. And Isaiah's just like, what? Well, at this point, everything that Isaiah is seeing, he begins to cover his eyes, and he's like, listen, I'm a sinful man that comes from a sinful nation. Like, I'm unworthy to be seeing any of this. And one of the seraphim angels took hot coal from the altar and touched Isaiah's lip with the hot coal. And the angel was like, listen, your guilt, your sin, your shame, it's all gone. So then God begins to speak, and God is like, listen, who shall I send? Like, who should I send to do this assignment? Isaiah was like, I mean, I'm here. I'm already here. Send me. This is where Isaiah's journey begins to start, and he didn't know that he was going to be one of the best Hebrew prophets. So before Hezekiah became king, people were worshiping false gods and just being disobedient. And when Hezekiah was 25 years old, that's when he actually became king. Now, when he became king, he was like, we're going to do stuff different. He was determined to obey God and literally do things the right way. So he ordered all altars, any false gods, anything to be smashed and destroyed. And even the bronze serpent that Moses made, people started to worship it. So he was like, destroy that too. At this point, after everything is smashed, everything is put away, he's now starting to rebuild. As he's rebuilding, he gets some crazy news. The city of Samaria was literally being destroyed by the king of Assyria, and he had took the people of Israel and took them captive. At this point, city after city was being destroyed by the king of Assyria, and Hezekiah was like, listen, our city is going to be next. So Hezekiah rebuilds the temple, and he's like, listen, if he comes over here, like, But at this point, cities are being destroyed, and Hezekiah was like, listen, I need you to send a message to the king of Assyria and let him know, listen, I'll pay whatever it is that you want, silver, gold, I'll give you whatever, just don't come over here. The king of Assyria tells them the amount that he wants. Hezekiah gives him everything. I mean, all silver and gold, everything from the temple. After he gives away all the silver and gold, y'all gonna have to come back for part 2 because I'm running. Part 2 of King Hezekiah. Y'all better go watch that last Bible talk because we just left off of how this man gave away all his money. Okay, so boom, King Hezekiah gives away all of the silver and gold to the king of Assyria, and y'all won't even guess what this man does. The king of Assyria literally sends his supreme commander to Hezekiah and his people. It's like, dude, this man just gave you all the silver and gold. Why won't you just leave him alone? At this point, they talking trash back and forth. Hezekiah is telling his people, like, listen, trust God, like, nothing's gonna happen, like, we serve God, like, we good. And then here comes the king of Assyria. He's like, who are y'all depending on? Y'all really think that y'all can beat me? Y'all have seen me destroy city after city. You think that this city is any different from any other city that I've destroyed? I mean, they talking trash. The king of Assyria does this whole show of how he's gonna destroy them, and God don't got they bag, they depending on nobody, blah, 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 blah. And the message was sent to Hezekiah. So when Hezekiah hears what's going on, he literally rips off his clothes and puts on sackcloth and goes to the temple of God. Like, I know the messenger bust out laughing, because can you imagine, like, telling Hezekiah, like, hey, he's out there talking trash, and the next thing you know, Hezekiah's like, rah! Sir, calm down. You already gave away all your money. Let's not mess up your clothes. At this point, Hezekiah's in the temple, and he like, I need to hear from God. I need somebody who literally hears from God. He sends his people to go to Isaiah. He's like, listen, go tell Isaiah what's going on because we need to know what God is saying. So Isaiah tells him, he's like, listen, the Lord said, don't be afraid. Don't even be moved by anything that was said by the king of Assyria. Like, you're going to be fine. Go tell Hezekiah that the Lord said it's going to be good. So Hezekiah is like, okay, cool. He goes into prayer. He's like, Lord, deliver us. Like, I know all the other cities were destroyed, but please don't destroy this city because I need the Assyrians to know that you are real and you are God. Isaiah prophesies again and he says, listen, the Lord said, don't be afraid. He got it. Y'all are protected. Y'all, the same night, not the next day, not 3 months after, the same night, an angel of the Lord went down to the Assyrian camp and put down 185,000 of their men. What? That part gets me every time. So the next morning, everybody gets up and his body's everywhere. So fast forward a little after that, Hezekiah gets very sick. So Isaiah goes to Hezekiah and he's like, listen, the Lord says, get your house in order because you're not going to make it. So Hezekiah turns his face to the wall and he starts praying. He's like, God, remember me. I've been faithful. I've been obedient. Like, God, please don't do this. So then Isaiah comes back and he's like, the Lord has heard you and he has seen your tears. He's going to add another 15 years to your life. Now, there's so many lessons to this story, but I'm running out of time, so I'll put them down below. Make sure you follow me so you can hear more Bible Talks. Love you. Bye.